man suddenly realizes something terrifying. In the distance, a massive tidal wave begins to rise, heading straight for the summit of Mount Everest. He can't believe his eyes. This, the highest peak on Earth, is about to be submerged. The thought of such an event is unfathomable. Yet, instead of running in fear, the man faces the monstrous wave head-on. With no fear in his heart, he rings the final warning bell, reminding everyone that the end of the world is here. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, a family, blissfully unaware of the impending disaster, but without warning, the house begins to shake violently. The stepfather quickly pulls his wife and 2 stepsons under the table, thinking it's just a typical earthquake. But then, suddenly, the wife's ex-husband, Nick, bursts in, frantic and shouting for them to leave immediately. Without much explanation, Nick urges them to get into the car. As they speed away, their house is reduced to rubble behind them. The earth beneath them continues to sink and crack open, creating huge rifts in the ground that rise and fall like waves on the ocean. Just when they think they've escaped, an elderly couple drives slowly into their path, blocking the road. With no other choice, Nick swerves onto the grass to avoid them. But as they watch, the elderly couple's car crashes into the rising pavement. They continue their frantic drive, only to be sprayed with filthy sewage from an open sewer, leaving their car covered in muck. In desperation, the stepfather suggests taking the highway, but what they see next makes their blood run cold. A cement truck falls from the overpass, and the ground splits open in cracks dozens of meters wide. Nick swerves the wheel in a desperate attempt to avoid the chaos, narrowly escaping one close call after another on the precarious overpasses. But just ahead, a massive, collapsed building blocks their way. In a moment of sheer audacity, Nick slams the car into the wreckage of the building. As the structure crumbles, they narrowly escape, their lives hanging by a thread. Barely surviving, they finally make it to the airport, where they hope to find safety. Fortunately, the stepfather, who has previous pilot training, takes the controls of a small plane. Just as they manage to start the engine, the runway begins to collapse behind them. With no time to waste, they forcefully take off, narrowly avoiding death as they soar into the sky, leaving the earth-shattering disaster behind, at least for now.